What's going on, everyone? My name is Ben Reeve, and my co-host is Paul James. And this is take two because I introduced myself as Paul a few seconds ago. Welcome, Paul. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Hoop Show for our first of maybe 10 or 11 of these Sunday episodes where we're going to have a different topic every week. And the topic this week is our early predictions for 2024. Now, Paul, I've sent you the questions, but I hope you haven't done too much research. I want you to come in reasonably cold. I haven't put a lot of thought into it as well. But we will come back to this at some stage and just see how close we got it. And we will allow ourselves the opportunity to change some of our predictions before round one of the season starts.
The formal thing down the line.
Yes. The real one. But this is our very, very early. So without further ado, first question, Paul. And we'll start with the one that gets people up in arms a little bit. But who's the first coach that's going to get the ass in 2024? Who do you reckon's gone?
Bevo.
You're going to go Bevo, are you?
Yeah. Now that maybe shows my hand a little bit for some stuff that's to come as well. But I think the Dogs are going to be pretty well sick of him by the end of the year. There's been enough kind of rumblings and concerns over the course of the last couple of years, and the on-field results have never gotten back to 2016 levels, and so I think his number's about up.
Yeah, when I was first thinking about this question, Adam Simpson was the one for me, but I think they've committed to him again, and it looked pretty silly if they walked away from that now. They're not walking away. Hawthorn's not walking away from Sam Mitchell.
No.
And maybe a coach walks, but I'm not talking about a coach saying I've had enough. I need it. I'm doing a Damien Hardwick scenario.
We're talking about
no. I think look, it's funny you went Beveridge. I've gone for him as well. We haven't compared notes on this. So I went Beveridge as well. I reckon his cards are marked. I think he's on borrowed time at the moment. I don't think he's going to see out the second half of the year. I think we probably get to past the bye rounds, and they might just see how it looks. And if it's all looking doom and gloom, and there's no finals on the horizon, I think they might look to go in another direction for the next few years. So we'll watch this space. But at this stage, both of us are saying Beveridge. Hopefully he doesn't come back with that motorcycle mustache again. That wasn't a good look. Not a great look at all.
Sack him right on the spot if he does that.
Sack him on the spot if that comes back round one. All right, who's your pick for the Coleman Medal? I can't remember who you picked last year.
I can't remember going for last year either.
The Coleman. You are allowed to pick Geelong players, by the way, but we'll try to. I am going
Geelong. I'm picking our man Jeremy Cameron, because I don't think his form of the early part of the season will be the same flash in a pan, interrupted by injury thing that we kind of got early this year. I feel like he'll string it all together, and he'll stay out there, and he'll stay fit, and he won't get banged up, and he'll have 80 plus in 2024.
80 plus, wow! What did Curnow get last year? Was it late high 70s or something? I think it might have.
Give me a sec to check while you're talking through all your details if you've got.
Yeah, all right. Well, I can't remember who. I think I might have gone. I was thinking about Larky last year, and I was thinking about it again this year.
He's the other one that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I'm going a little bit deeper than that, though. I'm actually going to go
78 for Curnow from
78.
From home and away, and I guess like 80 for the year in the end because he stunk it up come finals.
We don't count finals though. It's not for part of the Coleman race anyway. I've actually gone, and this might give away some of my thoughts for the season as well. Maybe not completely, but no. I'm just scrolling through some of the other questions. I've gone Max King from Gold Coast to take it out. I think he's about ready to take that next step. I can see a 15 or 20 goal better year from him this year, and I think with the Suns' maturity in their midfield, a few more wins, I can see him starting to take that next step. Can you see him becoming a more potent option this year? Or
for sure.
Injuries are the big question, as they are.
Yeah, injuries the big question. I mean, he's obviously had the ACL and came back pretty well from it, but these things take time, and we'll just have to wait and see. But I feel pretty bullish about him. I feel pretty bullish about the Suns, but we'll have to wait and see.
I would have had Curnow and Jezza probably pretty close to each other in the second spot. And I don't think it'll be a blowout by any stretch, but I think Max King will probably get that around that 80 goals, 70, high 70s again. Is there an extra game this year? No, it's the same number. Still 23 games.
Same as 2023. The gather round puts an extra game on the
he plays every game. All right, who's taking home Charlie? Who's taking home the Brownlow Medal If it's a Monday night still, I've got some thoughts on
whatever
that.
Night of the week it is.
Whatever night of the week. It's probably another episode. But who's going to take? Please don't let it be Lockie Neal. And please don't say Lockie
it'll be
Neal.
Nick Dacos this time. The only thing that stopped him was injury for the last 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks, whatever it was.
Yes, that's right.
Otherwise, he would have won it by a country mile. So I think he'll probably just finish the job this year. And it's all injury dependent, but I think Nick Dacos will just canter in. I think
first time as Brownlow Medalist in his third season. I think we're up to now with him. Is that right? Rising star in his first season.
And that'll be rising star, nearly a Brownlow, and
probably the best player last year. I would say most the general consensus would be he's probably the best player going around.
Yeah, on average per game or whatever. Yeah, Brownlow votes per game, he would have won. So
well, I haven't got him winning it this year, and I think I'm concerned about some of the things happening.
Someone's going to snipe him.
Collingwood's preseason. He's had a charmed run so far. I think things are going to start to go wrong a little bit. He'll feature in the top 10 for sure. But I'm leaning towards a repeat Brownlow medalist in Patrick Cripps to go again. I think Carlton's going to have a very good year this year, and I think Patrick Cripps should feature very, very highly. There's a bit of love out there for across all the community, really, for Patrick Cripps. And
we love Cripper.
Yeah, so happy to see him go well, and I think he should take home his second Charlie, is my opinion there. Where do you think he'll end up? Do you think he'll be top 10?
I mean, he feels like a top 10 player. If he doesn't have a wretched run of injuries, then I think he's almost a walk-up top 10, really.
Yeah,
that said, there is competition within their own ranks. You think of Sam Walsh and some of the others that are there, and they can steal votes from him potentially. So that might be a factor, but you can see him. I mean, really, to feature in the top 10, you need to average about one vote per round, and he'll have plenty of games where he gets 3. So
yeah, I think so.
So he should get the job done.
Should do. All right. So what about the rising star? We talked about Nick Dacos. I nearly said Davis. Nick Dacos won it a few years back. Who won it last year again? I've already forgotten. That's how much I reckon this medal means. I don't remember who won it last year. That's good. Look at you. You've gone to the trusty.
Harry Sheezel won it.
Shees. All right. Who have you got winning it this year?
Harley Reid.
Harley Reid, safe.
I think he comes into West Coast where their midfield is rubbish outside of TK, and honestly, TK's not had the best season in the world. It's just that West Coast suck. So I think he'll come in and he'll be that hard-nosed midfielder. He'll get plenty of the ball. He'll be a standout. He won't have anyone from his own team that's going to be stealing the limelight. I think all the stars are aligned for him. So I could totally see Harley Reid getting it done.
And do you think he'll play plenty of footy? Like he'll actually
I think he'll be there from day
20
one.
Games or something?
Mm. Yeah, I'd imagine he'll play, injury dependent. He'll be out there every single game.
He's got a pretty mature body, so you can't imagine that he's not, they should give him plenty of games.
He's ready.
Another bloke who went pretty high in the draft, who I reckon's got a mature bod, is Jed Walter. Another Gold Coast pick from me. I'm picking all the Gold Coast Suns players. Jed Walter.
You changing your tone from last year?
A little bit different. No, I'm not. I'm giving away a clue here. I'm not picking Essendon to finish top 4 this year, as I did last time around.
God.
But no, Jed Walter, I am kicking him. He looks very, very likely. I just don't have a lot of confidence in the environment that Harley Reid's going into, and whether that's going to be good for his footy. I think it'll come good for them. It always turns around very quickly for West Coast, but I don't think it's going to turn around in 12 months.
Not that fast.
I think we'll see the best of Harley Reid in 2025. So I'm predicting someone outside of the first couple of picks, or 2 or 3 picks. I think what Jed Walter go 4th or 5th or something like that in the end. I think
4. Yeah, 4. I think.
Yeah, I can't remember what North did with this. They had picks 2 and 3 to start with, but they may have actually split one. He might have gone 3rd.
Yeah, they got Dersma and.
Dersma's 4th, I think. So I think Jed did go 3rd.
Yeah, actually, Jed was pick 3.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, so, no, they made the bid and then Gold Coast matched it.
Because we've still got the best.
If you're going to make the bid, why would you not do it with pick 2?
Yeah, we've still got the best Jed in the game though, in Jed Buse. So no one, he won't be at Jed's level, at our Jed's level. Who's going to be the biggest improver of all the teams? And I should have actually spelled this out when I was giving my notes to you. But who's going to be so if you've answered this in terms of a player, I'm going to have to get you to change it on the run. But which team is going to make the biggest jump up the ladder? Now, as I said earlier, my pick last year was Essendon. I had them jumping all the way into top 4. Who have you got making a massive climb in 2024?
The 2022 premiers.
Oh, we're back.
Geelong Cats, because we'll bounce back.
Well, one of our Patreon members, Jared Fox, he's all about the Catters. He's on the Catters in a big way this year. So you're with Jared, the Fox man, the Fox.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying we're going to go and win the flag or anything like that, but I think the only thing that really kind of cruelled us this year was the injuries, and so provided we don't fall apart, and I mean, look, we do have old bodies, and so there's that risk, but provided we don't get decimated by injury, then I can see us, being buzzing around that top 4 again.
So you've got Jezza. Coleman,
and that's
the Cats. You got the Cats making the biggest jump. We're not through this yet either. Funnily enough, it's a Geelong Cats.
I guess I should say biggest jump versus most significant is a whole other thing. Like you could make the argument, Hawthorn might have the biggest jump, but they might go from where they finish in the end, third last.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Third or fourth last to ninth or 10th or something like that. And that, I guess, numerically will be the biggest jump. But in terms of, I guess, the most significant jump, it's a team, we're talking about teams that jump from outside of the 8 to back in it and into significant spots. And I think, and again, we hear the story every year about teams that come from outside of the 8 to suddenly feature in the top 4. And I don't really see any other teams in that bottom half of the ladder that will be a possibility to kind of make a move like that beyond the Cats. So
yeah, it was interesting. I thought Collingwood was going to drop off a little bit last year, but they surprised me. I didn't believe it until the very end. Really, I thought they were going to just drop off at some stage, but they just kept finding a way to win games. Mate, as I was about to say before, it is a Geelong show. You'd be shocked if I wasn't going to pick Geelong. No, I think this is probably one of the Geelong picks I'm going with here. I'm picking Geelong to jump fairly highly from 12th, I think we said, to, I reckon, I'm not going to say yet, but we'll be in the top 8. I think we're probably going to make the biggest jump of all the other teams. I think there'll be teams that go up and there'll be teams that go down, but I think Geelong will probably be that team at the end that makes the biggest leap from where they finished in 2020.
Yeah, just numerically speaking.
Yeah, numerically speaking. The flip side of that, who's going to absolutely fall off the cliff? Which team is absolutely going to? And this might give away, your first answer might give this away a little bit. It may give away my answer a little bit, but it's the Western Bulldogs. Is it doomsday? Is it Armageddon's coming for the Dogs?
No, but I mean, they're not going to finish last or something like that, but they'll be, buzzing around that bottom 4, 13th, 14th. And for them, that's a horrible, horrible result. So, and that'll be enough to prompt the coach getting the axe and the narrative that we've already discussed. So the Dogs for me.
And no Bontempelli Brownlow Medal either. It's going to be the year from hell for the Dogs. Bontempelli needs to win a Brownlow Medal, surely. Mate, believe it or not, again, we've got the same answer here. I've got the Dogs tumbling in about. It's all going to fall off. It's going to be absolute carnage in Footscray in the western suburbs. Heads are rolling left, right, and centre. Players are going to turn on each other.
Car break-ins and all sorts.
Oh, my goodness me. Fans are going to be turning on one another. It's if you're a Bulldogs fan watching this show...
we're sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. We there's love here.
There's still love. Well, you won a premiership, so you've won that. Now you can go away. Come back in another 14 years or whatever when it's your turn again to win another one. So even though Geelong can win them every other year, that's fine. I think that's the idea, isn't it? You win one, lose one, win one. Yeah, it's what we do. So we're going again in next year. That's not giving away any of my answers, though. All right, who is going to win? It's not something you want to win. Who's getting the wooden spoon this season?
Well, you know how Victor Wembanyama joined the Spurs, and everyone thought it was going to be the greatest thing of all time. They started out really impressively, and now they're like 3-17 or something like that.
Oh, yes.
That's the Eagles. they get the number 1 draft pick, the highly touted number 1 draft pick, and then nothing comes of it. And that's exactly what's going to happen this year. Now, I guess one thing will come of it. Harley will get the rising star, as I said. But the final results game to game, that's not going to change. The Eagles will be the bottom team this year.
And they'll probably take some All-Australians away from Geelong as well, just like they did in the AFLW. But there you go. What an absolute joke. We won't go there. We won't. Well, we have, but we won't go there anymore. Mate, we've done it again. I've picked West Coast as well. I have no confidence. I do like to try to think about it. Could be someone else, but there's nothing that convinces me that it's not going to be West Coast. I just can't see it. Could be the only other one could be North, but I think things are starting to turn. I really like their draft pick. Yeah, there's still their draft selections. They're going to be a few years away still, but I just don't think West Coast things are going to turn around.
They're
if
not
anything,
there.
they could have another horror season. I think they'll win a few more games. I'll give them that. I think they'll probably win. What do they get? 3 games this year, something like that. Maybe 3 wins. Maybe they'll get 4 or 5 this year.
Wembanyama thing. It's the Spurs.
Yeah. So Harley Red, go your hardest, but sorry, West Coast. If you're a West Coast fan,
more pain ahead.
You've got good membership numbers and you've got a lot of money, but you're not going to get a lot of success. And you're not getting a lot of love from myself and Paul on the Hoop Show. So bad luck. All right, all important, Paul. We've got three more questions, but all important. Who have you got in your top 8? Now you can do them in order, or you can just say these teams will feature in finals.
Yeah, look, I'm sure there's kind of a semblance of kind of order to it, but I didn't actually design it with order in mind. So, Lions, Pies, Demons, Cats, Power, Crows, Blues, and Suns.
Okay, got the Suns again, just sneaking in.
I had the Swans right up until we were about to start recording, and then I kind of flipped. So
okay. I don't think the Suns are going to make it. I think when they make it, though, they'll make it big.
Shit you were talking before, you're pumping them right up, and then all of a sudden, but they're not going to make it. Max King's going to kick 80 goals, but they're not going to make it. They've got all these amazing academy picks, but they're not going to make it.
No. It'll be the following year where they'll be my biggest improver for next year. There's an early crystal ball for you, everyone. Bookmark that one. But no, I think they'll just unfortunately just miss out. Everything will go right except they'll drop a game they're not supposed to drop, and they'll miss the finals or percentage or by half a game or something like that. It'll be another heartbreak for Gold Coast. I haven't got them in there, but I do have, and I have done some work on this, early work, but I have got a top 8 order, and that is Sydney finishing the home and away, top of the ladder. Big improvement. I think they're going to bounce back from a pretty disappointing year last year after making the granny the year before. I've got Carlton taking another step, finishing in that top 4, which they want to do, and they really need to do if they're going to feature in on the big day. They really need some home finals. Brisbane will make it in top 4 again, and I think Collingwood will round out the top 4. I think if you think Collingwood's going to be a great team, but they're going to it's not going to be a smooth run this year.
McStay's already done his ACL. They've lost Guinness.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I think all this sort of stuff's starting to build up a little bit, but they're still a fantastic team, and they're very deep. So, but I just don't think they're going to bank as many wins this year. Doesn't mean they're not going to win the whole thing, but I don't think they're going to win as many games. Rounding out the top 8, I've got Carlton and Geelong in 5th and 6th, and then Port Adelaide and St Kilda. I've actually kept St Kilda in the top 8. I know a lot of people are tipping them to drop out, but I think the Ross Lyon effect is now in year 2, and I think that's probably where I think St Kilda will actually surprise a few people, so I think they'll make it again. Whether they do anything in September, who knows, but I've got them in the top 8 again. Any outrage from you on any of those ones? Or
I mean, I'm surprised that the D's are out. Like, their team is still incredibly strong. They're a bunch of chokers, clearly, across the men's and the women's comp. They cannot win a final.
And they have a worst off-season from hell.
Ever.
Off-season from hell. It's over. It is over. The D's era is done, and we are going to have a lot of fun with that in the first half of next year when we just see it all fall apart. It's going to be great. All right, here we go. Next, two more to go. Who is going to be runner-up in the 2024 Grand Final?
The Pies.
Pies are going to runner-up, so they win it last year.
They do so well.
They're going to somehow finish top 4. Well, I've got them in the top 4.
I'll bundle this in with my Victor one because it's going to be a Grand Final replay, but the result will be flipped. So
good.
It'll be
Grand
basically
Final
2005 and 2006 all over again.
I nearly went down that same path, and it's a very safe path, and I expect nothing more from you, but very, very, very safe. This is
not a great debate, mate. We're not here to sling shit.
I've actually got Collingwood runner-up, but like you, so very similar. So I'm having a crack, but mine's slightly different. I've actually got Carlton making the most of their top 2 finish, doing all the right things, and saluting. And we are going to hear about it. We are going to hear about it from all these Blues fans. It's going to be painful.
Worse, actually, like the Blues fans after finally winning a premiership, or Pies fans on any given day.
It's been 2 months of it. Has it been a month of it now since Collingwood won? I'm over it already. Like, can Geelong go back to being reigning premiers again? I'm sick of these Collingwood fans. But anyway, mate, we'll bookmark this one. We'll come back to it at some point. Guys, thank you for watching again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Go Cats.
Yeah.